Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, posits that the art of earning money is a science rarely taught in schools. Instead, educational systems primarily focus on preparing individuals for employment, inadvertently perpetuating a cycle of financial mediocrity. Kiyosaki suggests that individuals from middle-class backgrounds like himself often inherit outdated financial knowledge from their parents, who themselves may lack a comprehensive understanding of wealth accumulation. He compares poverty to a hereditary trait passed down through generations due to a lack of financial education. Rich Dad, Poor Dad stands out as a pivotal finance book, offering insights that could have immensely benefited readers at a young age. Kiyosaki's teachings provide a roadmap for breaking free from conventional financial wisdom and achieving prosperity. I highly recommend delving into the book or exploring summaries to grasp its 7 key lessons thoroughly. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. At just 9 years old, Robert faced the sting of exclusion when he and his friend Mike were left out of a classmate's beach house gathering due to their modest means. Seeking answers, Robert turned to his father for guidance on attaining wealth. However, his father's advice to simply earn more money fell short in Robert's eyes. Despite his father's respectable occupation as a teacher, financial struggles persisted. Observing Robert's determination, his father, whom Robert dubs his poor dad, suggested seeking counsel from Mike's father, known as his Rich Dad. Although Rich Dad lacked formal education, having not completed 8th grade, he boasted multiple thriving businesses. Intrigued, Robert and Mike approached Rich Dad, eager to learn the secrets of wealth accumulation. Their meeting with Rich Dad was unconventional, as he proposed a hands-on approach to learning about money-making. Rejecting traditional classroom methods, Rich Dad offered to impart his knowledge only if Robert and Mike were willing to work for him. He emphasized the futility of passive learning, asserting that true understanding comes from practical experience. Despite Robert's desire to inquire further, Rich Dad insisted on a decisive commitment. He believed that wavering determination would hinder their ability to grasp the essence of money-making. Opportunities present themselves fleetingly, demanding the ability to seize them swiftly, a crucial skill in navigating life's uncertainties. When faced with a choice, Robert and Mike recognized the need for decisive action. Despite Robert's conflicting commitment to a softball game, he opted to prioritize learning over leisure, recognizing the rarity of such an opportunity. Under the employ of Mrs. Martin, an associate of Mike's father, Robert and Mike embarked on their journey into the world of commerce. Tasked with the mundane chore of dusting canned goods in an unventilated supermarket, their initial enthusiasm waned. The meager compensation of 30 cents for 3 hours of labor seemed scarcely worthwhile, especially compared to the cost of a single comic book. After enduring 3 weeks of uninspiring work, Robert reached his breaking point and decided to resign. Feeling disillusioned and undervalued, he saw no purpose in continuing. However, Mike's unexpected reaction revealed a deeper strategy at play. Mike's father had anticipated Robert's disillusionment and had instructed Mike to arrange a meeting at this precise moment, a method of teaching vastly different from Robert's own upbringing. Although initially resentful, Robert agreed to meet with Mike's father the following Saturday, intrigued by the promise of an alternative approach to learning about wealth. Even Robert's biological father expressed frustration with Mike's father's unconventional methods. Robert's poor dad had imparted traditional advice, urging him to demand a significant raise and quit if denied. However, upon confronting Mike's father about unfulfilled promises, Robert encountered a different perspective. Frustrated and impatient, Robert accused Mike's dad of greed and disregard for his employees. In response, Mike's dad introduced Robert to a profound truth. Life itself is the ultimate teacher. He emphasized that life often teaches through challenges and obstacles, pushing individuals to learn and grow. While some passively endure life's pushes, others confront them head-on, seizing opportunities for growth. Rich Dad shared his observation that many employees, despite their numbers, sought only job security and paychecks, missing the deeper purpose of their work. However, when Robert and Mike expressed a genuine desire to learn about wealth creation, Rich Dad recognized an opportunity to provide a unique learning experience. He devised a program that mirrored real-life scenarios, offering a meager wage of 10 cents an hour. Despite initial discontentment, Rich Dad explained that this wage was intentional, designed to expose them to life's challenges and teach invaluable lessons. When pressed about his dissatisfaction with the low pay, Robert focused on grievances about greed and a lack of respect. He even threatened to quit unless he received more compensation or additional teaching. Rich Dad elucidated a fundamental truth. The conventional response of seeking higher-paying employment often fails to address underlying issues. He emphasized the importance of making money work for oneself, rather than relying solely on wages. While Robert initially struggled to grasp this concept, he gradually absorbed the essence of Rich Dad's teachings. Surprisingly, Rich Dad announced that he would cease payment for their labor at the store, challenging Robert and Mike to think innovatively about wealth creation. For 3 weeks, they toiled without compensation, perplexed by the unorthodox approach. Yet, when Rich Dad treated them to ice cream one day, he prodded them to contemplate their current lifestyle. Examining the mundanity of Mrs. Martin's existence and the monotonous routine of park-goers, Rich Dad prompted Robert and Mike to question whether this life held any allure for them. Despite the allure of job security and the promise of a pension, Rich Dad's offer of a 25-cent raise failed to ignite their enthusiasm. Undeterred by their initial reluctance, Rich Dad increased the offer incrementally, reaching an enticing $2 per hour. Robert's mind raced with visions of newfound wealth and material possessions, yet he hesitated to accept. Rich Dad recognized their inner conflict, acknowledging the dual nature of the human spirit, one part susceptible to temptation, the other resilient and unyielding. In a final bid, Rich Dad extended an offer of $5 per hour, eliciting a profound shift in the boys' demeanor. As they embraced the truth, their vacant expressions transformed into calmness, shedding the allure of temptation in an instant. In that moment, the part of their souls driven by weakness and neediness was subdued, overtaken by a steadfast resolve that transcended material worth. Rich Dad commended their resilience, noting that while they remained unswayed by monetary enticements, many succumbed to the grip of fear and greed that dictated their lives. He observed that fear of scarcity drove individuals to toil relentlessly for a paycheck, yet once obtained, greed compelled them to incessantly pursue more, perpetuating a cycle of endless labor and consumption, a phenomenon he labeled the rat race. When Mike inquired about an alternative path, Rich Dad revealed that such a path existed, though few were aware of it. He stressed the importance of honesty with oneself, urging them to confront their inner truths without reservation. Rich Dad expressed skepticism about the capacity of his employees to acknowledge their truths, noting that fear often clouded their judgment, leading them to respond emotionally rather than logically. He cautioned against the illusion that wealth alone could alleviate fears, emphasizing the transient nature of happiness derived from material possessions. Introducing desire as another influential emotion, Rich Dad cautioned against its deceptive allure, noting that it often fueled irrational pursuits in search of fleeting satisfaction. He underscored the importance of independent thinking, free from the sway of emotions. Encouraged by their willingness to forego immediate financial gain, Rich Dad saw potential in their ability to resist emotional impulses and think critically. He encouraged them to continue working without the need for a paycheck, confident that it would pave the way for a more fulfilling adult life. In their agreement to work without compensation and their resistance to the allure of additional money, they demonstrated a burgeoning capacity to think independently despite emotional entanglements. Rich Dad assured them that this newfound clarity would guide them towards opportunities beyond monetary gain, ultimately leading to a life free from the constraints of the rat race. He encouraged them to continue utilizing their intellect even while working without compensation, assuring them that their minds would uncover opportunities far beyond monetary compensation. He believed that they would develop a keen eye for spotting opportunities that others overlooked, a skill that would serve them throughout their lives. Following his advice, the boys soon identified an opportunity to create a library where children could pay a nominal fee to read comic books. They enlisted Mike's younger sister as the head librarian, charging a modest admission fee of 10 cents per child, a bargain considering the cost of comic books. Over a 3-month period, Mike and Robert averaged $9.50 in weekly earnings. They paid Mike's sister a nominal fee of $1 per week and allowed her to read the comics for free. Despite having to close the library due to a dispute, they had already mastered the art of making money work for them, even in their absence. This experience reinforced the first lesson they had learned. The wealthy do not toil solely for money. Eager for further education, they were ready to delve deeper into the teachings of Mike's dad, who stood prepared to guide them on their journey. Lesson 2. Financial Literacy. When asked about his journey to wealth, Robert offers the same advice his rich dad imparted to him. Financial literacy is key. For instance, understanding accounting, although often perceived as tedious and perplexing, is indispensable for financial success. To simplify this crucial subject, Rich Dad utilized visual aids and straightforward language to teach Robert and Mike. Among the foundational concepts Rich Dad introduced was the distinction between assets and liabilities. He emphasized that to amass wealth, one must focus on acquiring assets exclusively. Despite its apparent simplicity, this principle eluded many adults, much to the surprise of Robert and Mike. They questioned why this fundamental concept wasn't common knowledge, assuming that everyone should aspire to be affluent. However, the reality was starkly different. Many individuals had been indoctrinated with erroneous beliefs by bankers, financial planners, and other sources. Thus, they needed to unlearn misconceptions and reframe their understanding of assets and liabilities. Robert simplified the definitions for his own understanding. Assets put money into your pocket, while liabilities take money out. He illustrated this principle with a cash flow diagram depicting the income and expenses recorded in an income statement, also known as a profit and loss statement. This statement tracks money flowing in and out. The lower portion of the diagram represented the balance sheet, which juxtaposes assets against liabilities. Assets, as Robert emphasized, contribute to income by putting money into your pocket. For instance, if you own a house and rent it out, it qualifies as an asset because it generates monthly income, putting money into your pocket. Conversely, a liability drains your finances. To attain wealth, one must prioritize acquiring assets while avoiding liabilities. Robert often observes that those burdened with debt often believe that earning more money is the solution. However, simply having more money does not guarantee financial stability. In fact, it can exacerbate existing issues. This is evident in cases where individuals squander sudden windfalls from lotteries or inheritances due to increased spending. The missing piece for many is financial education. While they may excel in their professions, they struggle to manage their finances effectively. Despite their intelligence, they lack literacy in financial matters. They know how to earn money, but not how to make it work for them. Many still consider their home an asset, but Robert argues that it's a liability due to ongoing expenses like taxes. However, he doesn't discourage home ownership. Rather, he advises prioritizing income-generating assets to cover such expenses. According to Robert, true wealth is measured by one's ability to sustain themselves for a certain period without working. It's about the balance between the income generated by assets and one's expenses. When your assets produce enough income to cover expenses, you're wealthy, even if you're not yet considered rich. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. In 1974, a friend of Robert attended a speech by Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, at the University of Texas. Following the event, Ray joined the students for a few beers at their hangout spot. When asked what business he was in, the students assumed it was selling hamburgers. However, Ray surprised them by stating that he was actually in the real estate business. He understood that the value of each franchise was heavily influenced by its land and location. Today, McDonald's stands as the largest single owner of real estate globally, possessing some of the most lucrative intersections and street corners worldwide. Robert often challenges people about their business, and many respond with their profession, such as being a banker. However, owning the bank is different from working there. It's a common misconception to confuse one's profession with their business. While someone may work as a banker, they still need their own independent business. Too many individuals labor for others, be it their employer, the government through taxes, or the bank through mortgages. Ray Kroc and Rich Dad understood the importance of minding your own business, the third secret of the rich. It's about taking ownership of your financial destiny and not solely relying on a profession. By having your own business, you gain control over your financial future and open up avenues for wealth creation. Don't spend your whole life working for someone else. Too many people dedicate their lives to minding someone else's business, ultimately enriching others while neglecting their own financial growth. Minding your own business doesn't necessarily mean starting a company. For some, it involves prioritizing your asset column over your income column. While maintaining your daytime job, focus on acquiring real assets that appreciate in value rather than liabilities that depreciate the moment you purchase them. It's crucial for parents to instill this understanding in young people before they venture out on their own, ensuring they grasp the concept of true assets and avoid falling into a cycle of debt. Real assets encompass various categories, including businesses that operate independently of your direct involvement, stocks, bonds, income-generating real estate, royalties from intellectual property, and anything else with inherent value and market demand. Acquire assets that resonate with you personally. For instance, if real estate ignites your passion, concentrate your efforts and investments in that realm. Even while maintaining his position at Xerox, Robert diligently minded his own business, steadily building his asset column. By honing his understanding of accounting and cash management, he became adept at analyzing investments and eventually ventured into entrepreneurship. He advises against starting a company unless there's a genuine desire, urging individuals to focus on bolstering their asset column while retaining their day job. As cash flow from assets grows, you can indulge in luxuries, but only if the income generated by those assets supports them. Build your asset column first, and let the income from those assets fund your desired lifestyle. Lesson 4. The history of taxes and the power of corporations. While many view Robin Hood as a hero for taking from the rich and giving to the poor, Rich Dad saw him differently. He called Robin Hood a crook. Contrary to popular sentiment, it's often the middle class, particularly the educated upper income bracket, that bears the brunt of heavy taxation. To understand this phenomenon, Robert provides a concise overview of tax history in England and America. Originally, taxes were sporadic and temporary, often levied to finance wartime efforts. However, in 1874, England established income tax as a permanent levy on its citizens, followed by America in 1913. Initially aimed at the wealthy, income tax inadvertently burdened the very individuals who supported its implementation, the poor and middle class. Rich Dad, contrasting with Poor Dad, observed a fundamental difference in their attitudes towards spending and government involvement. Poor Dad, a government employee, believed in utilizing government resources to aid people, while Rich Dad thrived on fiscal prudence, minimizing expenses and staffing to earn respect from investors. As Robert navigated between these opposing viewpoints, his study of tax history revealed an intriguing perspective. As governmental spending escalated, taxes inevitably trickled down to the middle class. However, the affluent seized upon an opportunity presented by the rise of corporations. Corporations, initially popularized during the era of sailing ships, provided a legal framework for wealth accumulation while circumventing conventional tax structures. By leveraging the benefits of corporate structures, the wealthy could significantly reduce their tax liabilities, often paying minimal percentages of their income in taxes. Efforts to levy taxes as punishment against the rich often falter, as the affluent adeptly navigate legal loopholes to minimize their tax burdens. By understanding the nuances of corporate structures and legal frameworks, the wealthy maintain a distinct advantage, outsmarting conventional taxation systems and preserving their financial interests. Lesson 5. The rich invest money. Our minds are our most valuable assets. With proper training, simple ideas or agreements can yield millions. Increasing your financial intelligence unveils opportunities others overlook, essentially enabling you to invent money. Take, for instance, Robert and Kim's success amidst Arizona's economic downturn in the early 1990s. Amidst widespread apprehension, Robert and Kim seized an opportunity. They acquired a house valued at $75,000 for just $20,000. Facilitated by a $2,000 loan from a friend for a small fee. Even before finalizing the purchase, they advertised the same house for $60,000, requiring no down payment from buyers. Within minutes of legally owning the house, they sold it, netting $40,000 in profit, a result achieved in just 5 hours. This example underscores how financial intelligence can transform ideas into substantial wealth. By sharpening your financial acumen, you'll spot lucrative opportunities that elude others. Markets fluctuate, investments evolve, yet the world consistently presents opportunities. Developing financial intelligence grants you the vision to recognize these opportunities and seize them. As the world evolves, so do avenues for wealth creation. Land, factories, and production were historical sources of wealth. Today, it's information. Yet information dissemination occurs at lightning speed, with changes becoming more rapid and profound. By nurturing your financial IQ, you'll perceive the future as a realm of excitement, not trepidation. You'll boldly embrace opportunities while others remain paralyzed by fear, perpetually relegated to the sidelines. Lesson 6. Work to learn. During an interview in Singapore, Robert encountered a journalist aspiring to become a best-selling author. Despite her undeniable talent, her novels failed to gain traction. Robert suggested she undergo sales training, a suggestion met with disdain. She couldn't see how sales skills would complement her literary prowess, dismissing the idea entirely. Yet, many financially struggling individuals, like the journalist, are merely one skill away from greatness. While hard work is commendable, it's insufficient. Robert advocates for a shift in mindset, from working solely for money and security to seeking opportunities that offer invaluable learning experiences. Rich Dad advised Robert to adopt a learn a little about a lot approach. By working various jobs growing up, Robert acquired diverse skills and knowledge. He urges individuals to pursue roles that provide opportunities for skill development rather than fixating solely on pay and benefits. Contrary to Poor Dad's emphasis on specialization, Rich Dad advocated for a broad skill set. Specialization, while seemingly secure, often leads to dependency and limits growth. Instead, Robert underscores the importance of mastering cash flow, systems management, and people management. Additionally, he highlights sales and marketing as crucial specialized skills for success. Continuous learning is key. Robert invests constantly in courses and educational resources to enhance his skills. Embracing lifelong learning not only fosters personal growth, but also opens doors to greater financial success and fulfillment. Lesson 7. Overcoming obstacles. Financially literate individuals may still struggle to generate abundant cash flow due to several common obstacles. For example, real estate offers significant potential for wealth accumulation, yet misconceptions about the associated challenges, such as property maintenance or tenant issues, deter some individuals from pursuing this avenue. By focusing on perceived obstacles rather than opportunities, they remain trapped in a cycle of financial limitation. To overcome these obstacles, individuals must cultivate a mindset of resilience, curiosity, and strategic action. By confronting fear, challenging cynicism, overcoming laziness, and replacing bad habits with positive ones, they can unlock their potential for financial abundance and independence. Overcoming fear. Fear of losing money is a common barrier to financial success. While everyone experiences this fear, the key difference lies in how individuals manage it. Rich individuals don't let the fear of loss deter them from taking calculated risks. They understand that losses are part of the game and focus on playing to win rather than playing it safe. Unlike those who maintain a balanced and safe portfolio, successful investors are willing to be a little unbalanced in the beginning, putting their eggs in a few carefully chosen baskets and focusing on maximizing their returns. Overcoming cynicism. Self-doubt and the doubts of others can hinder financial progress. Many people let cynicism hold them back, playing it safe and missing out on opportunities. Rich Dad's philosophy emphasizes the importance of analyzing opportunities instead of criticizing them. Winners keep their eyes open for opportunities that others overlook. For example, real estate can be a powerful investment tool, yet some dismiss it due to concerns about property management issues. By focusing on the potential rewards rather than the perceived drawbacks, individuals can overcome cynicism and pursue lucrative opportunities. Overcoming laziness. To combat laziness, individuals must harness a little greed or desire for something better. Rather than succumbing to a defeatist mindset of, "I can't afford it," they should adopt a proactive attitude of, "How can I afford it?" This shift in mindset activates the brain to seek solutions and overcome obstacles. While excessive greed can be detrimental, a healthy level of desire motivates individuals to strive for improvement and seize opportunities for growth. Overcoming bad habits. Successful individuals develop productive habits that prioritize their financial well-being. Unlike those who habitually prioritize paying others first, financially successful individuals prioritize paying themselves first, even if it means seeking additional sources of income to meet financial obligations. By breaking the cycle of poor financial habits and cultivating disciplined financial practices, individuals can strengthen their financial position and achieve long-term success. In conclusion, overcoming obstacles on the path to financial success requires courage, determination, and a willingness to challenge conventional thinking. By managing fear, overcoming cynicism, combating laziness, and breaking free from bad habits, individuals can pave the way for a brighter financial future. I hope this discussion has provided valuable insights and inspiration to you, our viewers. Remember, financial literacy is a journey, and every step you take toward improving your financial intelligence brings you closer to your goals. If you found this content helpful, I invite you to subscribe to our channel for more insightful discussions on personal finance, wealth-building strategies, and mindset shifts for success. Don't forget to share this video with friends, family, and colleagues who may benefit from these insights. Together, let's empower each other to achieve financial freedom and create a life of abundance. Thank you for watching, and until next time, may your journey toward financial mastery be rewarding and fulfilling.